Hi everybody, Jared Johnson here, back for another Sunday night video. Where does the time go? Let's make it quick. I've got the timer up and I know I've only got 10 minutes before I can't fit this thing onto the website anymore. So let's talk quickly about what we have going on. The four main currency pairs that I'm focusing on right now are the Euro dollar, Pound dollar, Euro yen, Aussie yen right now. Nothing else is really worth looking at too much in my opinion. Canadian dollar's moving okay, but I don't really trade that one much until markets really start trending and moving. And so really those are going to be the four that I'm looking at right now. Let's have a quick little look here at what we have on the going on in the euro dollar right here. We see that we've got a nice little situation where both the euro dollar and pound dollars and also the yen pairs have also broken their Friday highs and lows, and they've kind of given us a little start on the Sunday night trade. Now, we have some reason to believe, I've posted on the website on All About Pips a couple of interesting factoids about what is thought towards what is going on in the US dollar, some of the sentiment there, and some things that are happening. And all in all, if you sift through all of the crazy lingo in there, there are some signs that the US dollar may be making a bit of a turnaround and that some of these pairs might have finally had their run up. If you guys remember a couple of videos ago, I posted just a simple little thing where I said the euro has gone up a very long time. We're already into our 6th month, I believe, of the euro basically going up, and so you know, pairs can only go up so long, they can only go down so long. And in one of the articles I posted, it talks about there are some very similar orders and very similar longs and shorts in the euro that there were when it hit 160 back last summer before it tumbled, you know, 4,000 pips. So that could be something to keep an eye on. I'm definitely looking at that, but really for right now what we see is a nice breakout of this Friday night low, or this Friday low for our Sunday night breakout. It's made a little break, an initial break. It's only about 8:45 p.m. right now Pacific time, so we're kind of getting into the active market time, so I'm not too surprised to see some retracement, but I'm looking for this thing to continue probably back downwards in the direction of its retracement. We see that happening on both the euro dollar and the pound dollar. We see that this one is forming a nice 4-hour crossover. It's gotten through the gap just barely, and it looks like we may have ourselves a little bit of hope for some nice downward movement. We see that for this trend line that's been going up for the last several months, it's got some space before hitting it. And one thing that's very important, very crucial, is we see on this euro dollar a nice head and shoulders pattern forming. Here's our head, there's shoulder number 1, shoulder number 2, and this thing is heading south. So it looks like we've at least got a short-term reversal pattern. We had a head and shoulders pattern back here and it didn't give us a huge reversal. And we're having basically the same exact one right here, so we'll see what kind of reversal we can get out of it. But at least we know that the pair is currently trading at about 141.60, and we know that we've got a pretty strong level at this recent low, or the low of the entire month of August, at about 140.84.85. So I think this pair's got some short-term down potential in it for right now, and I will be looking at probably entering some sell positions over the next couple of hours. I'm just going to wait to get the market a little bit closer to the open in the London session and make sure that it can stay below this Dharma right here and continue downward nicely. Pound, we have a very similar type situation happening on the pound. If we go to the 1-hour chart, we see that it broke very nicely. By the way, a little side note on these Sunday night trades: when the market closes basically on top or right at a high or right at a low, it's very common to see those break out very quickly. And this pound has broken that low pretty nicely, and it's making a retracement as well, but it's just retracing back up to the Dharma. This one has an interesting kind of situation. I'm not 100% sure what I think or feel about this one. We do have a nice big gap on the chart here, so that could mean that there will be some retracement to fill that gap before it even possibly continues downward. But same type of situation. Market made a retracement, tried to give us a 4-hour crossover, wasn't able to do that, and looks like it could possibly be heading down. We're going to have to kind of wait and see. One thing that I'm looking at here is on our trend line. It's back at that trend line. This is a fairly old trend line, by the way. It goes all the way back to March. The market's been just following that thing up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into 6 months now. This is giving us very good signs of an exhausted, potentially exhausted market. Same situation. We have a head and shoulders pattern right here. Here's creating our shoulders. If we can get a good break of this trend line, I think that this pair should be able to continue downward. So we'll watch for some more downward movement on this one, but I was looking for a bounce, and it did bounce a little bit last week, gave us a little bit of upward movement, and now it looks like it's kind of on it's on the decision point area. It has bounced off the trend line to some degree, and so we're gonna have to kind of see which way this thing goes. It could continue back upward, it could bounce back down. If you look at the COT, or the commitment of traders, you see that a lot of money is short on the pound dollar right now. A lot of contracts are in sell positions on here. So we'll kind of see what happens there. The yen pairs are, whoopsie, the yen pairs are looking kind of interesting as well. We have a similar type situation. 1 point back on the pound before I forget here. We see that the pound has, and the euro's kind of done a bit of the same thing, but the pound on its big overall retracement has made a nice attempt on the week chart at that 50% retracement level. A candle just peaked up through there and it came right back down. And so it's looking like it's really struggling with that 50% retracement. This could be the turnaround area, and this is one more reason why I'm looking for a possible reversal down on this pound dollar. Okay, on to the euro dollar, the euro yen. We see the same type of situation. We have a very nice weekly low right here. The market's broken past it, giving us some retracement. Now what's it going to do? All these pairs that have broken past, like the euro dollar, the pound dollar, the euro yen, I'm just looking for them to come back up and probably give us a little bit of a bounce and continue back onward down. We've got a pretty nice little situation here on the, there we go, 4-hour chart. Same thing. We see the nice break of that weekly low. Big kind of turnaround point right here. We've got kind of a big messy head and shoulders, if you see that right there. Here's our head, shoulder, shoulder. We can get a little bit more of a clear look at it on the day chart. It's not quite so clear on the day as the 4-hour, but we can see a little bit of a better, bigger picture here. And we see that this thing has been holding in this summer channel very nicely, and it's been in it for several months now, with this 138, 60, 70, 80 area being the top. And it's just coming right back down off that, and we see that the week chart, it is still kind of triple topping at this area here, and it's just coming off that. So we have a lot of good reason to believe that this one will continue downward for at least some degree. As far as the technicals go, we see that the yen, you know, the fundamentals go, we see the yen is strengthening a little bit. But the technicals are telling us also that there's reason to believe that this thing may be possibly continuing downward just a little bit more. Same thing on the Australian yen. Nice little break there, and it's coming down off that. So keep an eye on those levels. One thing to look at, we have a pretty calm week in the economic calendar this week. We do have pound retail sales, which can be a pretty important one. The German zoo is fairly important. And the meeting minutes right here. These are kind of the votes on who thinks things should be changed and who thinks things should remain the same and so on as far as the UK goes and interest rates. So keep an eye on that. Everything else is fairly unimportant and pretty small in the grand picture. So have a look at the website, have a look at these trades right here. We have some nice breakouts and some nice opportunities to take things back downward, and also have a look at on All About Pips. Look at those articles I posted. There's some very interesting points in there, and we may start to see this market heading somewhere. The U.S. stock market's still a little bit on shaky ground, so we're going to have to see where things go, and that's just going to give us more opportunity in the currency market. So the U.S. dollar may be heading long again. We don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see. So watch those key levels on here and keep an eye on the website, and we'll see you in the chat. Thanks, guys.